What is going on, guys? So there we have it, 60,000 miles with my 2015 Subaru WRX. I acquired this car in June of 2014, so I've had it for nearly 6 years now. And I'm going to go over all the details, all the problems I had, and all the ups and downs, and the current issues I have. So let's get around the car, and we'll go on from there. I'm going to turn her off and go over the car. Just give me 1 minute. So first I'll go over the engine. It's been solid as can be. This 2-liter direct injected 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo has been treating me absolutely great. I mean, I have beat on this car, I have tracked this car, I have used E30 Tune, numerous launches, probably 10,000 pulls if I know, and it's just been through hell and back, and you know, every time I turn that key, she starts right up. This battery, which is, I'm sorry to even show it to you like this, but this battery, which was a replacement by Subaru, I don't know what the deal is. I clean this all the time, but the battery that was replaced under warranty, it's got a serious issue with leaking battery acid, even though I do clean it often. But I don't know if there's like an issue with the replacement Subaru battery, but it's just nasty. So that's one little minor issue. But the engine, absolutely solid, and not a bad thing I could say about it, besides it being limited by the crankshaft rods if you're, you know, pushing over 340 horsepower. But the engine is solid as can be. Now the body, most people know Subaru paint is known to be very thin. It's very prone to rock chips. I will show you some examples. I've had this actually since the car was new, and it came that way. And yeah, rock chips and all kinds of things are very apparent on this car. This one was just recent. I'm not sure how even that happened, but that's just recently that happened. Now the tires I've used, I used the stock Dunlops Sport 4 Max, whatever they're called. I used those. I probably put about 21,000 miles on it, and then I had to switch to the Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and then from there I switched to the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Now these tires are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I think it's the best possible tire you get for this car, and the handling, everything is just like top notch. It's just like unbelievable how this car responds with the right summer tire. And I've always been a summer tire person, like, you know, and then I switched to winter tires because I've always, you know, wanted the best of both worlds. And then the winter tires I have are the Nokian RT Plates, which again are the top winter tires that you could possibly have on the market. But yeah, the body, you know, I'll go over some of the, you know, some of the little damage I've had. And now some of these things, I don't even know how they happen, you know? I think like people hit this car and they think it's just like a cheap car and they just don't care. But I will go over just briefly. I'm not going to go over every little minute detail. But, you know, I'll show you some of the imperfections. Again, this is thin Subaru paint. This one, I don't even know how this one happened. This one was like, let's see if I can focus here. I don't even know, man. Like, that looks like someone keyed it. And then I have another mark there. Did get some curb rashes. Now, I mean, you know, no one's perfect. I'll admit I made some stupid mistakes. Not, you know, not because I don't know how to drive, but I think everybody at some point has had some curb rashes, and I did touch them up. But that just happens to everybody. Now this, another damage. I don't know, somebody backed into my car and didn't say anything, but that's definitely not me. I don't know how that happened. Another one, this is also just recently, like a month ago. Looked like somebody tapped my rear bumper, and you could see the two little holes here for the license plate. And I don't know how that happened, but it's unfortunate. I keep those exhaust tips nice and clean. I like to keep them clean and keep them nice and shiny, and all I use is water and some spray wax, and that's all there is to it. No magic, no anything. Now I had this field door open on purpose. I wanted to talk about this for a long time. I don't know if anybody else has this issue. Now, of course, I've had this car since June 2014, but I do have some rust around the fueling area. I don't know if that's related to E30 or what, but it doesn't look very pretty. So if anybody else has that, let me know. Now, this side of the car is pretty clean. I mean, I don't think I have too much damage. There's always been this light mark here. If I could focus. I don't know what happened with the car door, but that's about it there. And then I'll talk about the mechanicals. So, what this car has been through mechanically in terms of being replaced. Okay, I've had my clutch replaced 2 times. The first time, it wasn't even slipping. I just, I basically brought it in. I kind of said, you know, this is after track use, launching, you know, a lot of the beast. This was around, I believe, 35,000 miles. They replaced the clutch under warranty, no questions asked, even though I was tuned. But they were nice enough. Gerald Subaru in Naperville. They treated me fairly and nicely. I appreciate them. They're great. If you live in Naperville, check them out. And yeah, no problems, no questions asked to replace it. Fast forward to about 46,000 miles later, not 46,000, like 15,000 miles later. Now this was after using E30, more track abuse, more launching, a lot of very hard driving. Now Gerald Subaru North Aurora, I took it there, a different dealership, and again, even though they knew I was on E32, they still replaced my clutch under warranty. Unbelievable. I think that's like a 1 in a million chance to have your car's clutch replaced 2 times under warranty, and they knew I was on E32, which is like so, you know, like against, I would say, Subaru's policy. And they knew about my YouTube channel. They because I used to have decals on my rear windows showing my YouTube channel, and they actually linked it to my VIN number, and they saw everything I did to track use. But yet again, I got lucky and they covered it. Now the only rust I have on the car was just where I said on that fueling door, and of course there's some on the rear and exhaust, but that's pretty much typical of every car. And of course I do live in the Midwest, so there is salt, and I do drive this year round, including winter, so rust wise, you know, it's just typical, nothing, you know, extraordinary. But the body, other than around the fueling door, is very clean, no problems. Okay, some other mechanicals. After a little while of going stage 1, I did have an oxygen sensor go out. Now that's a common issue on the Subaru WRX. Again, replaced under warranty. After 2 winters, about 2 years, they replaced my battery under warranty. Basically, it's known to fail after 2 years, and that was luckily covered under warranty. What else have I done? Clutch pedal assembly. Those of you who've had the squeaky clutch, I've had this replaced 2 times. Now basically the clutch pedal and brake pedal, it's called clutch pedal, brake pedal. It's one piece, it's 2 pieces, it's together, but it's 1 piece. And I've had that replaced 2 times due to a squeaky clutch. It's not gonna, you know, it's kind of hard to push with your hand, but it doesn't do it anymore. Of course, the first time I had it replaced, it came back. I've heard of people tell me that they've had it come back again. Now, I don't know if it's gonna happen again, but that's a common issue. And if you do have a squeaky clutch, do get it replaced. The OBD I can't talk. The OBD2 connector has always been kind of loose. Every WRX is like this, but I just think that just shows some poor manufacturing or just some other minor issue. But I just think it shouldn't be like that, because whenever I get, you know, I'm scanning a code or hooking up the access port, I just don't think it's supposed to be like that. Other than that, I do have some stain from salt and stuff. Where I work, they use a lot of salt, and unfortunately that kind of stuff is just not going to come out of the car. But it's mainly just in the driver's area, because I'm the main person who, yeah. And oh, here's some rust. Now this is from the salt. I don't know if that kind of stuff is covered under rust protection, but I do have rust there. And I think I have some on the passenger side. Let's So let me go around. And there's some minor rusting here too on the passenger side. And there's none in the rear because I almost never have rear seat passengers. I mean, like ever. And yeah. But the interior holding up nicely. Nice and clean. I dust it, I keep it clean. I always keep my car showroom clean. Like, you'll never see leaves as my floor mats or dirt. It's just like, it's always clean. So let me pause the video and let me continue a little bit later because my video is running out. Give me 1 minute. And then the rear of the car, again, I never have backseat passengers. Sometimes I'll keep an extra spare little sweater. It's getting cold now, winter's approaching, and it's always been pretty clean and dusted, and you know, that's just my safety vest for work and for visibility, and very nice and clean. So holding up nicely. And there's no rust on any of the doors or door jambs. Very clean overall. My rear brake rotors, they started warping. Now I know this was due to track use, heavy brake, you know, braking from really high speeds, and they were replaced, and yeah, they were very warped. So those were originally replaced even though they already show rust. Maybe that's just common, but I know always brake rotors are always known to rust. My fronts are still warped. I just have not replaced them. That's maybe something later down the road I got to do. But I got to get those replaced too, and I probably got to do a front brake pad replacement because I'm pretty much due on that. Okay, so let me think. What did I talk about? So oxygen sensor, 2 clutches, battery. What else have I had done? I have had the clutch master cylinder replaced. That was when they were trying to diagnose the squeaky clutch, and that really wasn't bad, but they replaced it anyways. And try to think, what else have I done? You know, I've always done full synthetic oil changes. I just do it at the dealership. I don't like to deal with dirty oil. I mean, I used to do oil changes in my previous car, but today I just have to do it, you know, full synthetic. Use the Subaru branded oil, and no questions asked. That's just always been what I did. What else have I had done? I've replaced the coolant. I had that done probably around 40,000 miles. I replaced the brake fluid. I don't remember what mileage, but I had that replaced. The next thing I probably have to do is spark plugs. I'm at 60,000 miles. They recommend changing the spark plugs to 60,000 miles. That's probably the next thing on the list, as well as there's a pretty good amount of things I have to check at 60,000 miles. But I guess that'll about wrap it up. I mean, that's mainly the most things that I've had done, and lucky for me, mostly everything was covered under warranty. The only thing that I don't think was covered under warranty, now that I think of it, nothing, you know. I mean, the only out of pocket expensive I've had with this car is just oil changes and basic maintenance that's expected, you know. But my overall summing up of a 2015 Subaru WRX is it's very reliable as long as you're not pushing power too high, and I'm happy with the car. I still like it, I still enjoy it, I still drive it, and I still do pulls and I still do videos. And all in all, I think a 2015 Subaru WRX is a great car, and mechanically it's very sound considering what mine's been through hell and back. And here she is. She still purrs every time I cold start her, and looking clean as can be. I just did also recently spray waxed it, so she's looking clean, even though there are imperfections. Nothing's perfect. Oh, and my car also has been through hail damage. No, that was recently. That was just a few months ago. And they just basically PDR'd the entire car. No paint work was done. They did cause some damage on one of my rear passenger doors, so they did repaint it. But other than that, no paint work was done. And all the hail damage is completely gone, but it was really bad. But I guess that about wrapped it up. That's my ownership of a 2015 Subaru WRX. And as always, I appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the kind feedback. I'll show you one last little interior shot, so I keep her nice and clean. You know, everything interior is pretty much stock. I have not replaced the shifter bushings or parent shift stop or, you know, any of those things. Everything is pretty much stock in here, you know. I did have the carbon fiber decal at one point in time there, but I took it off. I just didn't I really think it looked right. But that'll wrap it up, guys. That's my 2015 Subaru WRX. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate everything that you guys do for my channel, and that's why I do what I do. And then one of the first things I did was replace the interior lights with LEDs. That's just the only really simple interior mod, but I did that like right away. I did that with all my cars. So there she is, guys. My 2015 Subaru WRX. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Peace and enjoy your day.